Okay,
should
there we
probably
go.
put two since I'm in the crease.
All right.
What? Now it looks really posterish.
Well, just
Nah, you can actually see me better on the.
it's better because I wasn't aware of camera presentation until I started watching myself back.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like and plus we're always on these phones. So in 20 years we're gonna be like this.
Nah. Hey, Nelly was a cool guy. He was a vibe. But anyways, welcome to Talk About with Lust. I'm your host, Lust, and here we are, back on the comfy couch.
Here we are, not the casting couch though.
No, this ain't it.
Ain't it one
Does it
of them
look like
shows?
one of them? It might be.
I mean, it looks like
This is
it.
an Ashley furniture couch. I wouldn't doubt they put that
I don't
much
know,
money
man.
into a porn couch. But anyways, this episode is gonna be a nice and juicy one. I got one of my boys. I know this guy for a couple years now. We met pretty random, and ever since then, it's been good times.
I wouldn't say it was random.
I mean, it was.
It was a twist of fate. I mean, we needed a snake guy, and there you were.
Hey, on demand.
One of the best snake guys in Miami. I
think I am, because I honestly, as long as you give me a 24-hour notice, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
You saved that shoot because literally, like, my client was panicking.
I bet.
So
she almost killed my snake.
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot about that one.
Hey, but either way, let's introduce my boy real quick. Go ahead and say your name and your Instagram and all your good stuff.
Oh well, it's the one and only Fernello. The body paint guy,
only one
body paint guru. I do a bunch of other little things too, but you catch me at Fernello on Instagram. It's kind of crazy that I just have at Fernello, right?
That's pretty good that you got that.
I was lucky,
It
but
is.
I also had that Instagram when Instagram was like in its baby stages.
That's how I feel about Cash App. Everyone's like, how you get 3 letters on your Cash App?
Yeah,
So I was the first one on that bitch.
Yeah. And then also at Fernello.vision as well. That's my other Instagram account.
How about all the goody ones?
If you want to check out my OnlyFans, you can investigate.
We'll get into that eventually. We'll get into that. No rush. But
yeah.
So I honestly, on the show, I like to kind of start off like letting people know who you kind of are, what you do, and then we kind of just talk about regular life shit and like life experiences.
Oh, yes, a lot of life experience, or lack thereof. I don't know.
I mean, there's this one saying that I was actually thinking about it the other day. It was like, we grow up thinking that we know it all, and once you get older, you don't know anything.
We don't know shit, man.
And it's kind of crazy.
We don't even know if there's real space. We don't know. What we know is what we feel right now, right?
Yeah. And that's how I've honestly been trying to live with all this shit going on.
Yeah.
Is like, that's the only thing I can say that I'm sure of is my day-to-day life,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, dude, I have a lot of questions. Like the algorithm, to start off pretty crazy on the podcast, my algorithm on Instagram is throwing me so much flat earth theories.
Yeah.
And I've been fucking anti-flat earth for years. And it's just crazy that it's almost bothering me.
Look, I don't want to shake the cage a little bit with that, but look, you just got to keep an open mind. I think there's a lot of things that we don't understand as even human beings. Hell, we don't even know what's really beneath the ocean, right? So how can we see so far into space, but we can't see on what's on the earth right now? We can't even go into.
And that's honestly, I'm surprised it doesn't bring suspicion to anyone.
It's like you can tell us there's civilizations millions and millions and trillions of miles away, but you can't tell us what's on the bottom of the goddamn ocean. Like, and if they try, they get, you end up like the
Imploded.
little submarine. Yeah,
you implode.
Listen, we know what we know, and I guess we run with whatever. There's a lot of things that are in place to make society do what it do, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's funny because the shit that I was watching is like today this guy was like, we can easily be in a simulation for the fact is like every time something it's like in life when there's like harmony and like peace, automatically a week later there's chaos.
It's called balance, man.
I guess the guy was saying is like the reason that happened is because whoever's playing the game of Sims, he had dinner. So when he has to go to dinner, that's the only time we get our chill time.
Everything naturally has the balance it needs. Chaos.
I mean, we wouldn't know what's good without the bad.
Yeah, chaos.
We need it.
Peace invites chaos, right?
It does.
It's the yin and yang theory.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just life, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like you just can't get tied up to all that shit until the shit's presented in front of you.
And I think some people create their own chaos.
Yeah,
you could create your own piece. You yes, Earth can be a simulation, but you're the player in your own game.
Yeah.
And you can create the reality
you feel this
you want, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, you can pretty much play the game that you want. You can take shortcuts. You can do the long game. It's up to you.
But I mean, I feel like shortcuts don't really pay off.
Hey, it's what the person visualizes at the end, right?
To get to the point in your life, a man that does something that's not very common for most men, like,
I suppose I lived a life that most men would love to experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's up to, the beholder, I guess. I just know that I lived a life that I wanted for myself. I literally, no pun intended, I painted my life in this direction
to play with juicy booties.
Hey, it wasn't even like, when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was just paint and draw. And, I was very fortunate to have, a wonderful upbringing that encouraged my work ethic.
So were you an artist from birth type shit?
Yeah, since I was 5 years old, I would just draw. I would watch the public access channel.
Okay.
And I would see, I don't know if you know a guy named Bob Ross, the guy with the afro, right? I used to watch him.
Bro, we're about the same age. Remember this?
Yeah, I forget sometimes, man. But I used to watch him as a kid. And I would just draw on napkins. Anything I can get my hands on, I would draw. And
so back then, what were you mainly drawing?
No, I would just draw like little cartoons. Because, we grew up with cartoons, right? So you just draw what you see, right? And I would draw like, the little Ninja Turtles or whatever. And anything I could like have an imagination, I would want to draw that. And then I went to school and I had really great teachers that would always encourage me to do it.
Was anybody in your family an artist?
Well, my mother was very creative.
Okay.
So, but she didn't have, obviously, the advantages I had, growing up in the type of environment I was in. So I was able to go ahead and take advantage of all of that. But yeah, no, I had a really good childhood growing up. Very, I was a student of the game, student of just hard work and my craft, honing my craft. And I always knew I was going to do something in the arts field. I just didn't know what it was or how I was going to get to that.
So it was like, did you go to like an academic school or is it like?
No, man. My mom didn't have money to take me, put me in no private situation or anything like that. It was just grinding, man. Just opportunities kind of.
And at this time, where were you living as a kid?
So I'm from New York originally.
Okay.
Right. So, New York, man, if you could really make it in New York, man, you could literally make it anywhere.
But I feel like the state itself, even though
it's
public,
very competitive.
Yeah, but I feel like besides that, like you don't have to go to private school to be an academic kid in New York.
No,
like
there's
a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, a lot.
And look, one thing led to another. I didn't stop creating. I always had this vision of me being an artist and a successful one. And went to college, had an opportunity to get into airbrushing at the time. I got into the airbrushing field because of a friend that I used to go to college with, and he persuaded me to go into it. I worked at in an art store at the time, so I had access to a lot of things, and I started experimenting.
But what kind of airbrushing were you doing? You're not doing body at that point.
No, so I started doing t-shirts.
Okay.
I remember back in the day, they had like the airbrush t-shirts. Kids were wearing it.
You would go to the carnivals and
you go to like the flea markets.
Yeah, the flea markets.
You see the guy.
Your hats.
So
all that
I got into doing that because at the time throwback jerseys were a thing.
Yeah.
And you remember they had the characters on the throwback jerseys. So I would like airbrush like Bugs Bunny and all these like characters on these.
That's dope.
Remember the extra large t-shirts people used to wear?
Everyone got those airbrush.
So I had them airbrush. I had like
the swap shop was the spot here.
Yeah, I had a little thing going with that for a while, and I got deeper in that field.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't want to do airbrushing. I thought it was just. I was like, well, I'm in college for this graphic design degree, and I don't really want to go in this direction. But after,
aren't you happy?
People. I always say, man, people come in there like somebody could just start a fire, man, for you. And my friend definitely started that fire, and
That's awesome, bro.
He blazed a trail for me to where I needed to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I don't want to get into that.
And it kept you in
I
the-
gotta find a new hobby. I gotta buy all these materials. Like I was like not having it, and he kept begging and begging me. Oh man, you should do it. You should do it. And I was like, why is this guy wanting me to get into this field? And obviously he wanted to, cause he wanted to do these shirts, and he was like, yo, I have a clientele that wants this. You're an artist. You can do this. So he was like pushing.
So was he
me to-
airbrushing?
No, he was an artist himself, but I met him in my art class, and we would just like talk about like making money and shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I got inspired to be an entrepreneur. His name is Trey Sherwood. He's an actual coach now at a I think a high school. He's a coach now. But at the time
Like an
we
artist
were
coach or like life coach.
no,
or
he played lacrosse.
Oh shit.
So
Like
now he's a coach.
athletic coach.
Yeah. So we met, and he kind of instilled these entrepreneurial ideas in my head.
Okay.
And then I took the ball and ran with it, man. And one thing led to another. Got into the airbrushing field. Did that for, I would say, 5 years into it. Then the airbrush body paint.
Well, you
thing
did
happened.
that contest or that show
So
on Netflix.
let me tell you how so this is how the anthology went. The trilogy of my life went. So I started doing the t-shirts and the hats, and I started doing like events, like parties, like kids parties.
Okay,
I had a little business doing that. Then a photographer was like wind of my skills. He's like, bro, like you can do those same designs on people and do them for like fashion shows and stuff. And I said, fuck out of here. I'm like, what am I going to do that for? Like, I didn't see any money, or I didn't see any value in it. So I laughed it off. I just, at the time, I had a girlfriend. It was just like painting naked girls. Like this was like so foreign to me. Right.
And when you was presented with this opportunity and went back home and told your girl, that she was like, are you fucking
Well,
nuts?
I didn't tell her anything. So he told me about it, and I laughed it off. I was like, nah, I'm not interested. And then, a couple months went by. Some people they plant a little seed here,
Yeah, of course.
And then I wasn't happy doing what I was doing at the time. I wanted a little bit of a change, and just a change of atmosphere, or just tried something new.
Yeah.
So I was getting tired of doing the parties, and I felt like a vendor. I didn't feel like an artist.
Yeah,
I felt
of
like
course.
a vending machine. Like,
Yeah.
give me a t-shirt, my name on it.
I want to be a Panther.
Yeah, so it was like, all right, this has no fulfillment whatsoever. So did that for a couple years, and then I was like, a couple months went by, and then he asked me again. He's like, bro, I got these, I got a studio, this, that, and the third. You should come, and kind of like how you got me here. You kept asking me to come, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna come. So I said, okay, let me get back to you. Let me just see what I could do here. And I told my girlfriend about it. I was like, hey, listen, I got this opportunity, and I want to go in a different direction here, but I just want to make sure that you're cool with it before I continue. At the time, and I had you have to have a lot of respect, and you have to be transparent. You can't be doing sneaky shit.
But that's dope that you went right off the rip, because some niggas will just take the job and then tell their girl.
just tell her. Look, I rather tell you the truth to your face than to tell you a lie, because eventually the lie will catch up.
Always.
Right?
24 guys.
So you just don't lie to a chick. What is she gonna do? Leave you?
I mean, that's the worst.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you get another chick.
Yeah.
The end. So so I was like, listen, if you know your value, your chick is not gonna leave you. You can tell your chick anything.
That should be on a
If you know your
Wise
value
word.
enough, you'll be all right. It's when you have weak value, you worry because you worry about her leaving. But if you know, confident in yourself, this bitch ain't going nowhere. Because there's nobody left, baby.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there.
Yeah. It's true.
So you say, all right, yeah, so I'm going to go paint these naked girls, all right? So, high five. And she was like, all right, well, don't get any ideas. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it. So I called up two of my friends that I knew. This was a little ballerina chick that I know, and I had a friend that did hair.
What was your first design you did?
Man, I did like this little, you remember back in the day, Ed Hardy t-shirts? Remember those?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So I did like a little
traditional tattoo
little tattoo heart thing. It looked really cool at the time. I thought it was cool, but that was I painted two girls. That was my first ever body paint shoot.
How long did that take you?
I don't remember. It was quick. It wasn't that long. It probably took me maybe like an hour. 2 hours. because it was like quick. I did it like t-shirt style.
And you
like
weren't
fast.
like fucking nervous or some shit?
I was nervous because this is the first time now I'm gonna be looking at girls naked. That's not my woman.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of like, all right, it's like, all right. But once I got into the flow of work, it wasn't like anything, right?
It's the same thing with tattoos. People are like, oh my God, you're gonna see my titties. Like, bitch, how many titties I look at?
Yeah, you get you get desensitized to it. And if you're
I'm working.
if you're a true artist and you're not in it for a perversion
100%
reason, then a woman could sense that. A woman could sense you're a pervert from a mile away.
Yeah, 100%.
So you go in with the mindset of you want to be the best at what you do, and all that stuff, all that, you don't really look at them like that. So did that, went well. Got a lot of good feedback from it. And over time, it just like, I got these opportunities. Yo, can you do a fashion show? Like, I went into the frying pan.
After those.
Dude, I went into the frying pan right out of the gate. Like, I didn't like little take my time. I literally went
Holy
from
shit,
painting 2 chicks at a photo shoot to doing 12 people at a runway show. Like,
damn. That was
but because of the training that I had as an airbrush artist doing events, I was used to doing things quick.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it's quick like that, obviously, like I wasn't as advanced as I am now. Obviously, I know my limitations and what I could produce that it's going to be the standard of my at the time. Because
time is quality.
Right. At the time, I didn't have a style or anything like that. I was just doing bodies. Like, I was just painting. I was like, oh yeah, I could paint 10 people, 8 people, whatever.
Yeah. So
I did it, and yeah, man. I mean, looking back, I don't think I could do that now. I don't think I have the stamina to be standing for like 12 hours painting everybody like that. But I did a bunch of those shows, and one thing led to another. Started building more, started doing more shoots, and I was like, man, I could make money doing this. I have a feeling like I can. And I was getting so many compliments. It was a great icebreaker. Like, people were really impressed by something like this,
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to make money doing this? Like, so I had to brainstorm. So I was living in New York at the time. And
but besides that, how the fuck were you getting paid before then?
Man, that's a whole nother. Well, I worked in the emergency room as a technician.
Okay.
So I had an income.
But you were not getting paid for all those paintings, all those shoots?
No, I was getting paid, but not like
per body or per the hour.
I would get paid per show.
Okay.
I wasn't, because at the time I didn't know how to gauge my pricing for body painting. There was no education.
No, of course.
So I had to like learn. I was getting stiffed.
No, I believe
but
it. That's
I didn't know my value. I didn't know my worth, and there was no teacher to say this is how you do it. This is how you create value for yourself. Blah blah blah. All I was looking at, I was more looking at, I need the experience.
Yeah.
And I got to put in the reps first.
Of course, always.
So let me put in the reps, and then a year or two from now, if they ask me to come back, I could be like, nah, I got too many notches under my belt for you to be, for me to open up a show now, right?
Yeah.
Now I got to be the main event. I'm not the curtain jerker anymore. You feel me? So I was like, how can I make some cash flow with this, right? And I started doing body paint girls in Times Square, and I would paint them up in a pair. They would go into Times Square, and they would take pictures with the tourists, and they would make tips, and we would split the tips, and we could make anywhere from 1,000 to 5 racks in a day.
Yeah,
like, it was crazy. This was before, like, this. I'm talking about. This was back in 2012. And this is when, like, people were just out there having fun. Like, this is a whole different era.
That's Times Square is the spot to do some shit like that.
Because you remember, remember they had the Naked Cowboy back
I was just gonna say, you probably knew the Naked Cowboy.
So the Naked Cowboy was pissed.
Was he?
Because we had girls out there in body paint, and like,
and he was
everybody
a white dude with
everybody was
Kid
going
Rock
to the
in
girls.
underwear.
Yeah. Everybody was going to the girls, and there was like, so we did that for about a year or two, and then it was getting too crazy with Times Square, because guys were getting too touchy-feely, and I used to always have security go with them, but it was just like, all right, I don't want to
even have guns in New York.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
But no, I had fun doing it, especially when they had the parades. We would make the most money. Like the Puerto Rican Day Parade, forget it. Man, we used to kill it out there in Puerto Rican Day Parade. It used to be so much fun.
The Puerto Rican Day Parade get rowdy too.
So we did that for a while. I started doing these little photo shoots. I started concentrating more on my quality, and I was like, I got to build this brand. I need to okay, I figured out how to make money. I know how to get capital. I'm building up my skill set. What can I do now to push it to the next level? So to take this further than the streets, or
Yeah.
or further
Make it
than
high end.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, I want to be the Louis Vuitton of body paint. I want to be, I want to be a designer brand, but with body paint. And I was like, how can I pull this off? So I started researching. I started getting inspiration from designers and just overall looking how we was talking about Victoria's Secret off air, right? So the way they brand their merchandise and just the overall image, I wanted to create a staple of girls
that's how you do
that I can paint on what represented my brand.
Yeah.
So I started with one, then I got two, then I got three, and I started building from there, just kind of like morphing this vision. And I just came up. I was like, I'm gonna call it Fernello Vision, and I'll have a bunch of elite models or just socialites, and I'll paint them up and I'll put them in my designs, and that's how I'm gonna catch wind and start a flame, and people are gonna see the fire, and they're gonna want to book. They're like, oh wow, I saw such and such on your page, or I saw this girl that I follow. So then you create an audience now based off of your affiliation.
Yeah.
And then it grows from there.
It's almost like, and it's dope because when you get like, when you build that type of style and you have like your own kind of model, it also gives like, it also lets the people that you work with know that you're this standard. You know how we were talking about how like, now like we have, like we were talking about Rihanna's brand, bro. She literally opened the door for everyone. So there's no standard to anything. Like now everyone's accepted, even though we live in a time that everyone wants to be accepted, but that's not how really life works, So it's like,
man, listen, rejection is good.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you learn how to take an L, you'll appreciate that W down the line. And a lot of people just want to, right out the bat, want to get a W.
Oh, no, you can't. But I mean, bro, going through the grit, the pressure and all that, that's how you learn.
You got to build, man. It's how you build your body. You go to the gym, and what you got to do, sometimes you got to rep it till failure. You do it, you can't do it until you can't do it no more. It's the same thing with your mind. You got to do it.
But that's why like old school artists, bro, I feel like we lived in a great time for the fact is that no one ever told you that you were good enough. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like as artists, like especially in our age, we never feel like we've done our best yet. We've always pursuing the bigger.
I think we are
our worst critic.
Yeah, of course, as we should. Right? You don't want to. You also want to be your own cheerleader, but you don't want to like.
I definitely.
You don't want to think that you're the best. Like,
nah, never.
There's always somebody better than you.
Always.
Just remember that
for sure.
Right? So all you could do is be the best version of you, of yourself. And I always look to others as inspiration to do better. Right? If I see somebody winning or I see somebody doing something in a certain lane, I'm like, yo, man, I need to get on my shit.
Yeah.
It motivates you.
No, 100%.
And you're not always going to take those W's, and I think the art of painting in itself is you have to be, an artist goes through a certain type of pain, a certain type of suffering in order for them to be great. If you're not putting yourself in that position, then you're not going to grind hard. You're going to get too complacent and lazy.
Yeah, 100%.
So laziness doesn't win you championships, right?
I don't.
So you got to go out there and grind.
So it's a random question.
Yeah.
When's have you gone back to actual like doing any art, like painting wise and other than just bodies?
Well, I do paintings, as a hobby, like for myself. I don't really sell any of my work. I mean, it's more of a personal experience.
So what do you usually paint?
For me,
what's your thing?
I do acrylics.
But like, what do you like to?
I like doing faces. I like doing abstract things. Whatever I feel in my mind, I'll put it on canvas. But the reason why I don't sell my paintings is because I don't want to monetize everything that I like to do.
Yeah.
I want to keep something close to my heart and not like it should be, this is for me. Yeah. Right. Rather than, I got to make $1 from this, or,
I got you.
I feel like I'm doing that already enough with the body painting and
but I like how you just said that. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, you make your bread and butter from the body painting, your models and all that, your brand. Like, it's cool to have other other like things in your
for
life that
me,
people really don't need to know about.
And I don't even paint that often too. So when I do paint, it has to come from a place of inspiration and a place from pain. So that's the only way that I could inspire to do. Just like an artist that creates really good songs, you know, like it's hard to pump out. That's why when an artist comes out, his first or second album is gonna be that's it. That's gonna be his best work.
He came from a struggle into these positions.
Those songs came from a place of desperation and pain.
So talking about that as an artist, do you think there's a point that we have to recognize that we're not going to produce our great anymore?
Yeah.
Because I know in music, it does come to a point.
I mean, creatively, you reach a plateau, right? And I think once you do that, that's when you become the teacher to inspire others. You gotta transfer that energy now to now teaching people that have that fire.
It's almost like that whole the circle of life kind of shit, bro.
Yeah, so
like you're about to die, you have your kids, you die off.
Yeah,
and it's like,
so you gotta there's gonna come to a point where you've done it all. You've seen everything, done everything. You've experienced life. So the struggle is no longer there, right? And now you want to be able to give that back to somebody that's going through that process, right? And I think that's when you're not reaching certain standards in your creativity, you can reach certain standards in your teaching.
Oh, 100%.
So now you're able to give back.
Because another thing too, once you become a teacher as well, you do become a better artist. Because you're also putting your practices back into practice. Yeah. Because you're actually being able to reflect what you've been teaching, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you hear yourself in a way.
Yeah, that's it, you know. So I see myself teaching and giving mentorship to others. I mean, I'm doing it now, but I'm not getting paid for it. No, you know, but it's just more like I like giving people advice and helping them along the way.
There's also a fucking time and place to make money, bro. Like we live in a time that we also do get too tied up on that, like we're supposed to work with each other as well.
Yeah,
you know?
and you know, listen, I'm not saying money is bad. Money is great. Money provides us with a good quality of life.
But the thing is, the goal is not money. The goal is the achievements of life.
It's the problem is, don't ever chase a bag.
No.
Right. You're going to be highly disappointed with the result. And it's like chasing a woman. You don't chase a woman.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to be able to have a valuable life.
Yeah, of course.
Which has substance and meaning and purpose, right? As a man, I think, or as anybody, right? But more, I'm gonna just give it to you in my my perspective. As a man, every man needs a purpose.
Of course,
we can't just be out here just self-indulging and shit and having, you know, pleasures. But we gotta put in reps. We gotta put in hard work. We have to have a goal in mind and a purpose in mind as a man. Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Where do I go with this in another 10 years, another 5 years, whatever?
Yeah.
What is the end game? So I would say have an end game in mind of where you want to be so you know where to go. Life in a car with no direction is pointless.
Yeah, you're just driving.
You're just driving on and wasting gas.
Yeah, 100%.
So just pinpoint that destination where you want to go.
Yeah.
And okay, I want to be living in Costa Rica in another 20 years. How am I going to get there? All right, buddy, you got to go do X, Y, and Z.
Because that's another thing I read one time. Yeah. It's like, bro, we know you need money for this shit. Mm-hmm. It's fucking obvious.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, instead of be like, I want $1 million, it's like erase that fucking picture and be like you said, I want a house in Costa Rica. I want this and that. And then the money's obviously going to come because how the fuck you're going to get that?
Yeah.
So just place yourself in your situation you want to be at.
Manifestation with motion, my friend.
Exactly.
Not just don't be, I'm smoking a blunt and I'm just like, yeah, man, I wish I was like, nah, man, manifestation and motion.
Yeah.
Put in the fucking miles and the work. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You're going to get it. The thought is good.
There has to be work in between though.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm a man of action. So I want to see action. I don't want to see words, you know, but you got to put everything in place, you know, and I say, look, I'm going to make this happen by the end of the year. I need to be over here. I need to be on this level. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to accountability as well, but I also want to out level myself every year, you know. I'm living in an apartment. Nah. In another 2 years, I need to be in a house. Yeah. Set standards and a baseline of
Agreed.
goals for yourself.
It's fucking random as fuck, but this last interview with that Cat Williams shit, the only thing I can grab out of all that stuff he said, the fact is like you got to live your life every day. Like if right before you went to go to all right, is this good enough to go to sleep on? Because if I died today, I don't want to fucking die as like I half-assed my day. I should have done a little bit more. Yeah. And bro, that honestly, those words kind of stuck with me, bro, because it's like you got to be proud with the person you are every night. Mm-hmm. And if you're okay with to go out like that, you know what I mean? Because another thing is like, bro, if you go out as a piece of shit, you're obviously not going to make it anywhere, you know?
I mean, life is built off of, what are you really leaving behind? I don't think a lot of young men are concerned about legacy. They're just concerned about, how many likes I'm going to get on this picture, or like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Or another thing is materialistic, because a lot of people are just lost. Like, hey, I want to live my life, pay my bills, have my nice house and car, and that's it. But there's no legacy behind that. You know what I mean?
Well, the reason that a lot of men right now are very displaced, because men are not really fighting for anything.
I mean,
they're not. We live in too good.
Yeah.
Well, there's no real. Okay, so look, a lot of men don't have wives.
They don't.
So there's no motivation to do better, because now you're not putting yourself in a position to provide for anybody. You're providing for yourself. So I'm just going to be complacent and lazy.
It's true.
Because you don't got to work as hard.
Because a man will live in a fucking box.
When you have a fucking family, when you have kids, when you have these responsibilities, you got to sharpen your mind. You got to grind.
All day.
Because you got to come home and you got to bring value. You got to bring things to your family.
100%.
So I would say a lot of men are displaced. They don't really have a function family, or they don't have a family of their own, or whatever. And so there's no motivation to get more.
I mean, they always say like the people with like the greatest people always had like a bunch of women down their neck, bro. Like look at fucking Martin Luther King, JFK. They had multiple women, and I feel like they just like.
I mean, I'm saying, I'm more. Look, women, those things are gonna come when you're successful.
No, of course,
right. But I'm saying, what motivates a man also is having a purpose. Family creates purpose as well. I'm not saying without a family you're not gonna have it, but majority of individuals, I feel that's like the cornerstone of. Okay, I have to go out and get it because of X, Y, and Z, or because I have a wife and kids to take care of.
Yeah, of course.
There's an archetype there's a design there that makes you do that, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody is going to be wired the way to be a full-on boss or Jeff Bezos or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone has a different mindset. But I would say back in the day when people had families and it was more of a purpose.
Yeah, but the thing is, because again, women do make the standard, bro. It's like that whole conversation is like one girl gets a Chanel bag, and eventually all the homegirls think that their man got to bring them a Chanel bag. So it's like a woman can build a standard.
That depends on the type of woman you're dealing with. So if you choose a materialistic woman, that's what you're gonna get, right? If you choose a woman that has certain values that I would say a woman is a reflection of who you are as a man.
Oh, 100%.
So if your standards are not high for yourself, or you're materialistic yourself, you're just going to attract the same thing. And that's what it is. I had a woman that, I had a girlfriend for a long time, and we had similar values. She was not like, she liked nice things, but she wasn't materialistic. You get what I'm saying?
100%.
Everybody deserves nice things. I'm not saying living like, we all like nice things, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
To chase nice things and or to have nice things, that's a whole different thing. And there's a certain spiritual element there too. If you are a person that believes in that, and if that resonates with you, you got to find somebody that resonates the same way. You can't be with a person that, I don't know if a lot of men understand that. And I think a lot of men chase I would say the flesh
Wow.
more so than the
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
So they see a beautiful woman, they're nice body, nice
And
ass.
they want to get a Ferrari.
They're like, yo, man, I want this. You know, I want it. But they're like,
Yeah.
they want the idea of having it. But actually,
Yeah.
when you get it, what are you really getting? You know,
Nothing.
it just
It's like as you get older, like you start breaking away from friends, like
Yeah.
friends that you used to party with, and you start fucking getting
Yeah.
getting fucked up with those certain friends, and eventually you realize, damn, we only hung out because we got fucked up together. So it's like the same thing as like with a bitch, bro. You eventually realize like
it's growing though. I mean, you grow. You know, you're gonna experiment. You know, look, everybody, we all go through certain partners.
course.
Or you go through certain phases in your life is because where you're at and what you're doing. If you're out drinking and drugging, chances are you're
That's
gonna
what you
attract a bitch that likes to drink and drug, right? You know, because that's how you found her, right?
yeah.
So, you know, if you were in the trash can to begin with,
Yeah.
you're going to bring home trash.
Hey,
you know what I'm
believe
saying?
me.
It's
I've
only
learned
obvious.
I've learned that very well in my life.
Yeah. But there's also, you know, there's also devils in disguise. You could meet a girl at a nice job, whatever. She could appear nice, but you get to know her and you peel her back like an onion and you'll start to cry, buddy.
Yeah.
Because you'll find out real quick what you got.
Yeah.
So it's look, there's no perfect way to find someone, but I always feel like
Genuineness.
the more genuine you are as a person, the more you
Likely to
reflect
find a genuine
that,
person.
you're more likely to find somebody that you'll reel the right person in.
Yeah.
You know.
So to fast forward into your life
Uh-huh.
now that, so
Yeah.
were you already into the business that you're in now while you were living in New York, or did it kind of like just kind of fast forward once you moved down south?
No, I had everything pretty much structured for a long time. I took my time with it. I didn't rush into things. I made sure, you know, to go through trial and error. And I felt that I was ready to come down to Florida and you know, expand some more. But it took me, I started body painting back in 2010. So it took me about a 10-year stretch.
Hey, that 10 years where it's at.
The 10
always.
years, it
10
made,
years, everything.
You got about 5 years of perfecting your craft, 5 years
Of
of just
working it.
like working and making the money, you know? So it's a labor of love, man. You have to.
I tell everyone that, do your 10 years, bro. And that's where it's at.
It's
Like, you'll find what you are.
yeah, you'll know. And
Just stay consistent to that. You know what I mean?
and let me tell you, you know what you like when you like doing it for free.
Oh,
You know what you like in life when you like doing it for free, right? So it's like I was grinding for 3-4 years, man. I wasn't making that kind of money,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
until I really started developing myself and my brand. And
do you think
you
your
know.
collection grew more rapidly because of the style you did, or the bitches you started working with, or the women?
I think
I don't want to disrespect them all. you know?
yeah. Well, I think
Because I know some of them through you, and they're very awesome people, bro. They're cool.
I mean, so the way
I was like, "Ah!"
you know, it's a mixed bag of,
It
of
is,
characters
of
that I
course.
deal with.
Yeah, it's not like a,
So I would say it's a combination of a lot of things. You know, it's the right ingredient to make the most tastiest dish, I always say, right?
Yeah.
So sprinkle a little this, sprinkle a little that. I was fortunate enough to
Power
work with
Puff
some
Girls.
really good photographers.
okay.
And through those photographers, I met a lot of great clients and potential models. So
Okay.
it was like the trifecta. You know, I had the photographer, I had the model, and then I had my style. So we had the holy trinity of three.
Hey, that's how.
And
it
then
works.
that's how it came down. So you had all those three elements. And of course, eventually I started learning how to do my own photography, my own skill set, because I wanted to tour. So I got it. I was like, listen, in order for me to make the most money, I got to learn this stuff because I won't be always so fortunate to have a photographer in my back pocket, right? And plus, for, you know, merchandise reasons, I wanted to have my own
Yeah.
rights to my pictures, right? So I learned it.
But knowledge is everything too, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's good to
evolve,
learn,
man.
Yeah.
It evolve. It took me a while to get there, but now, you know, I do it all. You know, I have my own roster of talented models. I have, you know, my own photography style, and you know, it all came with time.
Okay. So, right now, the group of people you're working with are, you feel like it's probably one of the best groups you've worked with,
You know what?
are you still working on them?
It's constantly evolving because I'm constantly evolving. So where I was maybe 3-4 years ago, I thought it was the best team, but I'm a changed man. I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. So now I'm attracting a different type of model.
Okay.
You know, when you into the fast life, you're gonna you can invite a lot of fast women. But when you want to mold yourself into a different man and a different your brand and your mindset, you're gonna invite different people in. So it's constantly changing. You know, it's. I never say it's good. It's the best version of me right now. My team now, but I'm not gonna say they're better than these group of girls or
No,
that
of course,
because it was a different era, different time period. You know, and it changes. You know.
I mean, just like even like as actual like physical painting, it's gonna get better.
Yeah, you know,
Because
and
you worked there, you've done the time.
yeah, you put in the time, and you know, and that's it. It evolves like everything else.
So when do you finally, like, after all these years of body painting, when do you started getting more into the more promiscuous lifestyle then?
Oh, promiscuous, man. I mean, definitely after I left.
When you were like, you know
like,
what, I'm gonna start doing this
well,
shit.
I mean,
I'm
after
gonna go full throttle.
after my relationship ended, I think I was able to be more free, but I was very cautious of that because I knew it's not good to shit where you eat.
No, 100%.
So you have to be very careful and very, you know, put your intentions out there in the beginning. It's a lot of things that I could talk about on the proper way to work with models and, you know, and after hours stuff. But
Because like when with body painting,
Mhm.
like I mean, honestly, fucking life has been crazy in general. How
Right.
the whole process, but like OnlyFans, bro, like the whole art of OnlyFans is like,
I could talk. Okay, I could get into OnlyFans.
like how the
let's-
fuck you're like, you know
let's-
what, fuck it, I can do this.
Okay, so this is what you. This was the whole OnlyFans thing. I was doing OnlyFans before
Painting.
OnlyFans was a thing. Okay, so it created, just like Instagram, created this really good platform for people to not only see your work, but also you can monetize now.
Because another thing about OnlyFans, sorry to like
Yeah.
interrupt. There was another page that people used to just drop a bunch of shit, and it was a bunch of like it's an artist form, and it was just like it was
Tumblr?
Tumblr.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty fucking dope. And
Yeah,
it was just
yeah,
like an
that-
open format, and you dropped your image of whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I think they have it. I think it's back.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's
Because it
back.
wasn't OnlyFans something like that too. It was like a bunch of different artists, and you guys just all share.
There's a bunch of
anything-
theories on OnlyFans before it actually jumped off. I heard like multiple stories, but I'll tell you how I got started. I got
Okay.
started through a model. She got me on there. I laughed when she told me about it because I'm like, nobody's gonna pay me monthly to see me body paint. Like I didn't. Me being ignorant at the time,
Yeah.
didn't think I was gonna make a dime off of that, but it all made sense. I was like, wait a second. I looked at my statistics on my IG. I said, I have about 90% males following me. I only have 10% females, but I only have female clients. But how do I monetize off of my male audience? So I was like, yo, they're following me because they like the chicks, obviously. So
Yeah.
if I charge a monthly price for it where they can see the girls naked and getting painted and their favorite influencers getting painted, shit, that's a price for admission right there.
Good old Sims.
Because I used to do live body painting. So I looked at it like that's like live body painting, but you're not there in person. So I was like, it's the same shit. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try it out. So I had a little ticket, like my little price. It was $20 a month.
yeah.
But like that gave you access to like seeing the photos like uncensored because of course IG was crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we would do the live body painting. And then from there, it took off. You know, I got to be careful. I don't say OnlyFans on this
On what?
on IG because they're very careful.
Is that why that freaked out?
Where?
I don't know. Something happened.
nothing freaked out. I'm just
Oh,
saying
yeah.
it's just got to be careful what you say on this thing.
Really? You can't talk about that shit?
Not
On IG?
Not really.
Damn,
You
they're that
can't-
sensitive?
It's 1 second.
Jumpers here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
But,
if you say too many things on there, like if you say the word OnlyFans, they will take your shit down. Yeah,
That's fucking
it happened
crazy.
to a lot of my my models. They got their page deleted. You can't promote that platform.
What's up, B? Damn, that boy came with the doink.
The big bat.
Was it? What the fuck is that?
It's your finger, Finello.
Oh man, no. I actually in Jamaica, I smoked a really
I hope
like
you did.
It was like this big.
Oh, you just hear.
I'm not considering.
Why are we getting toppies?
It was. I don't know. This dude just made the biggest blunt I've ever seen in my life.
You smoked it with all the honeys.
Absolutely. All right. So we were.
So yeah. So you said you started off with painting bitches on OnlyFans.
Yeah. And
then when you were like, all right, fuck it, we should start doing more.
Okay, so it got a little bit more crazier when COVID happened.
Okay.
I was doing good on OnlyFans.
Because was it illegal at that point for you to be
no,
painting these bitches?
No. So
you gotta stay in that room 14 days before I paint you.
So I'll tell you how I went about it, and where I see things now with the platform. At the time, like I said, nobody knew what OnlyFans was really. It only became popular around COVID because a lot of people were out of work, they were bored, and they were horny.
Oh yeah,
and then they were getting stimulus checks, so they were like a lot of horny dudes.
All that
with all
bicycle
this
riding in the
extra
house.
money and no strip club open, right? So they were like, "Man, what do we do?" They on IG all day. You on social media
were you
all
in
day.
New York during COVID?
Yeah, I was in prison because that was prison.
Yeah, in New York.
You couldn't do anything. You had to
like,
stay in your fucking house.
Yeah.
It wasn't like out here. Y'all could go outside and have fun.
Oh, we were at the strip club.
There was no.
There was like all the strip clubs are open like underground here. It
Yeah.
was fucking-
No, we had underground barbershops.
Yeah.
Everything was closed.
Well, no, we had underground. Like people would have like
Mhm.
the strippers would have like their personal house parties.
Right.
It was like weird shit like that. I remember like strippers would have private parties
Yeah, man,
in like
because you couldn't
mansions and shit.
You couldn't do anything, and so I couldn't paint. I couldn't do anything, right? So I said, okay. I had a bunch of these girls, and they were like, "Yo, how do we make money?" So I was like, "Yo, we got our social media. Let's just start promoting some like because I only could have painted my own models at this point. I wasn't able to
just
book
fire.
anybody, right, at the time because people were scared.
Yeah.
So I was just painting my own girls.
So is that was
And
your
then,
main bread and butter at that time?
Yeah, and then we just started doing more. Like I was like, all right, well, shit. Like, how can we make more money here? Because they want to see something else. So I was like,
So did you turn somebody out or somebody turned you out?
No. So the way it was,
You got turned out.
I can't. First of
come
all,
on.
with women, let me tell you how it works. You cannot push a woman to do something she doesn't
never.
want to do, right?
Never.
So I had two girls, and I remember like the two girls, they were getting lit or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask them something. What if you two guys made out in that body paint and you went in the shower and it just showered on you and I recorded it? They were like, oh, we're down to do that.
That's cool.
I made them sign a release form. I was like, just in case.
I ain't trying to get Cosby, bitch.
I'm not trying to be, on some, I got to be careful out here.
No,
so
100%, bro.
You got to,
20 years down the road, these bitches get real broke and hungry, and then
There's
they're
two
knocking on your door.
things that I don't like doing with girls I don't know. I don't like drinking with them.
That's what I mean. Back in the days, bro, I wouldn't fuck a girl if they were drunk.
I don't like
I ain't
drinking.
trying to
I
get
don't
that
like
shit coming
drinking
back
with
on me.
strange women. I don't like doing any kind of narcotic or anything with a person I don't know. Because
I
you
feel
never
that.
know somebody trying to set you up.
Oh no,
like-
100%. I believe it.
So that's why I don't.
You're a wise man.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of things go down, man.
Yeah. Being
So-
brown ain't easy.
So once I saw, the way I made the switch to more of like raunchier content on OF is when I saw Tyga get involved with OnlyFans.
Oh, but that nigga was going crazy.
No, but he was going ham. I was like, wait a second. This guy already has money. Why is he doing it? Like, so, and it was with girls that I painted. So I was like, oh, hell no. So I was like, nah, forget it. Because I was very worried about my reputation at the time because my clients were female.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
didn't want to have a reputation of, like doing adventures with girls and stuff, because that can backfire, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I said, well, shit, if they're doing that with Tyga, who is a celebrity who already has money and they're out here exploiting themselves for clout,
yeah.
fuck it. If you want body paint, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get on board. So I created a staple of girls who were those types of.
So that was the original tribe.
Yeah.
The pre-tribes.
And then, we started doing the content trips with the Wild Tribe and all that stuff. And then that's where we took it from there. And then, but it's with people that I know, and like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
we're
yeah.
we're
Even like when I saw the last tribe that you did in Jamaica, I've
Yeah.
seen you work with those girls a couple times.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of random.
No,
bitches,
no, you can't, man. You can't.
No,
It's
I
too
know.
much of a liability,
It
man.
is. I believe it.
You know, you don't want to get the wrong chick and then, oh my God, I got drunk. I didn't know where I was. And then your name gets brought up and you have nothing to do with nothing. But because they're at your event, you're held liable somehow.
End of R. Kelly case.
Somebody got peed on. You know, somebody. It wasn't me. But nah, man, that's not. You got to be very sensitive, and when it comes to females, you can't play games with them. You know,
At all, bro.
End up like Jonathan Majors. You know.
Dude, real quick. Nah, this is not the time, bro. And like, it was, even though I was just joking around, it's like, bro, like, look at Bill Cosby. He got charged over stuff happened 20 years ago.
That was a witch hunt.
But that's fucked up, bro.
But I mean,
come on. That many years after, bro.
It was. I mean, listen. This was back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
People were doing cocaine like it was nothing.
Quaaludes were like free.
Like they were getting lit. They were getting lit. Like it was a whole different ball game back then.
Yeah.
There was no social media.
Nah, it was fucked up.
You know,
bro,
I think the previous generations, I think they were worse. It's just that nobody broadcasted.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, worse?
Our grandfathers and our parents, they were doing way worse shit.
Dude, I saw the documentary the other day of Little Richard.
Yeah.
You know the Little Richard?
Yeah. The singer.
Keep on knocking and you can't. Bro, that motherfucker was lit as fuck. And honestly, like, I've always thought, like, I always knew that he was like gay, but like the way that they did all his backstory was fucking like, he was in hard times, bro, because he was black off rip, which is hard. And then being gay and black was fucking tough. And then being in the music industry. But it's crazy because if you think about it, like, bro, that nigga created a lot of people. Like, he created Elvis and all that other
Prince,
all of them, bro. And it's like, I believe. Oh no, he was like married to like a 14-year-old or some shit.
All right, you know, but guess what?
At that time, it was acceptable too.
It's all about society and what society thinks.
Yeah.
And it's not like he went out and did an R. Kelly.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It was legal to be with a 14-year-old.
He had permission to marry the wife from the parents.
Yeah.
So
no, it was.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yeah, he had permission.
So that makes it okay.
Society tells you what's okay.
Yeah, it makes it okay.
I mean,
There's no such thing as free thinking.
No, at that time you really don't know.
What is okay? Let me ask you a question. What is okay? Okay is a general census of what everybody thinks.
Like, just because I don't like fucking little girls.
Compass of your own.
Yeah.
They ain't no more. We eating fucking flesh. We eating chicken and beef. That's something bad in another culture and time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's what you feel.
It's just crazy that there's a society. There's somewhere in the society that is cool to fuck 10-year-old people.
You're smoking weed.
I know.
And 20 years ago, that was a fucking crime. You go to jail.
I know, but the crazy thing is to be fucking a 12-year-old is insane to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right by my morals compass.
No, it isn't.
But if your fucking parents is giving you away,
100%.
And
I get
you know what I'm saying, like,
because it does happen in the Middle East and all that other countries.
Grown man.
Yeah.
His own free thinking.
But yo, people were having families at literally fucking 13, 14 years old back then.
In biblical times, as soon as you get your period, you're a woman.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Crazy.
Aware of how it works.
That's fucked up though.
Listen,
it is crazy.
It is what it is. What can I say? I don't make the rules. You know, I just watch.
Yeah,
I just
100%, 100%. So I mean, so what's some So you say you started mentoring some people. Are you mentoring them in the business aspect or just in the art?
I mean, business, you know, just overall, just there's
because not everyone can do it like Fernello. You can't just be like, I can just put everybody on into that type of shit.
No, I just like, you know, you got models that want to get into business. You got artists that want to get into business. I just try to tell them the real deal and what they need to do and how to prepare themselves mentally, and you know, learn to lose. Basically,
that's the biggest part.
Learn to lose.
That's the biggest.
Once
part.
you learn to lose, your wins are gonna feel so good.
That's what I was like, yeah, man. Like, even as an artist, I was raised to like heavy critique, bro.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have someone like, that's great, and just tell you all the goods about your painting. You're supposed to nitpick all the bad part and be like, bro, this is what you're supposed to do. And then you tell them the goods and then how did it progress. But like telling people that, like, another thing, me as a parent, I don't think I've honestly ever told my daughter none of her drawings are good. And it's kind of,
You can't. Here's the thing.
And yeah, she's a child. And be like, oh
It's
yeah,
a
that
child,
one's nice.
You know, it's a child. There's a time and
But it's
place.
like, no, that
like
shit
if you have a
sucks.
child and you see something in them, that
Yeah.
little spark, why would you
Dim
put
it.
it out?
Yeah.
You know, and my first drawing was a piece of as a little tree.
No, I believe it.
and I was like, look, I'm great. Like, you know, and of course, if I didn't have good cousins around me or good friends, and I wouldn't be where I was at. Like, I needed that little bit of encouragement to
for
keep
sure.
going. You need encouragement. It's important. And I think, you know, having good mentors, having good people around you that stand on their business and their beliefs, and it's good to have some people to check you too when you're doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
You don't
But
want to
there's-
have a yes man around you all the time.
No. But I feel like there's a lot of people that
Right.
do get very sensitive about a friend that always like puts them as like, bro, do this and that. Like, I never really appreciate those friends because I like friends that actually tell me I'm fucked up.
No, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'm out of
but
place or-
there's a time and place. You know, there's haters.
No, but
Like, you
can
know
tell
when
the
a
difference.
person's hating. But
Yeah.
when you're doing something that, like, if I see you drinking too much,
Yeah.
and I said, bro, you know, I think it would be wise for you to ease up on this. It's taking a toll on your health. That's not me being a hater. I'm concerned. I want to make sure
Yeah.
you're good, you know. Or if you're trying to pursue something, and I say, hey, you know what, man, go for it. Take a risk. You know, what's the worst can happen? You lose. At least you know this ain't the route.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
never.
I know you're not much of a drinker, but were you at one point a drinker?
No, I mean, I
'Cause
grew
I
up.
never really liked to drink.
I grew up around drinking. I grew up around a lot of parties and stuff. So, like, I'm, you know,
I mean, I take my
It-
sips here and
you
there.
know.
Don't get it wrong. I'm not out here just sober as fuck, like not having my drink.
I don't.
Not-
It's, you know, it's, if I'm a social drinker, like if
Yeah.
if a girl I know wants to have a drink, I'm not gonna say no. I'm
No,
like,
of
let's have a
course.
drink together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because nine times out of 10, I already know where that's going. You know, you say no, come on,
So when are you gonna get that sponsorship from that tequila company?
Oh,
bro?
God,
Because
yeah,
you need that.
Casamigos, let's
Casamigo,
go.
holla at your boy,
You know
man.
how many girls I've bedded with that Casamigos, man?
Reposado?
Oh God, for
Just get him
sure,
going.
for sure. You
Muy
know,
caliente.
if they tell you to bring a bottle of that, you already know what time it is. Yep, that's it, man. You know, play your cards right, you get it.
Hey,
Um,
I don't know. I don't think she liked me. He's like, what were you guys drinking?
yeah. Hey, listen, if a woman invites you over or she comes to your crib and wants liquor, she's ready.
No, my brother.
Like, she's not drinking for sport here.
My brother always taught me when I was a little kid. He's like, yo,
Yeah.
especially when you like start dating, hang out with girls.
Uh-huh.
He was like, and you obviously were hanging at your mom's house or whatever.
Mhm.
And there's like, if a girl sits on your bed versus like rest on your bed,
Yeah.
there's a big difference, bro. You can tell when a girl wants it. It's like,
Listen, if a girl's in your room in general,
oh, there it is.
she's already ready to go, buddy.
Yeah.
You just
100%.
gotta do the
Yeah.
codes to unlock the clothing.
Yep, it is. It is. And it's funny. I'm like,
You know?
my brother's 10 years older than me. He used to put me on game like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you're ever in doubt, bro, those are
Listen,
like little things.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Did I know if a woman invests time talking to you and hanging out with you,
for sure.
she
Well,
wants,
that's something you know when you're older.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, you're a grown ass person. It's like she's spending this time. You remember, a woman, time is like currency to them.
Oh yeah,
So if they're doing
It's the
all of
highest
this,
currency.
and yes, very much so, and if they're investing all this time and equity into you, they want to be with you. They want to, you know, you got to just play your cards and get it to a point where you both win, right?
100%.
So that's how I look at it. I don't see it, you know, any other way.
No, I hear you, man. And it's funny because like even myself as a tattoo artist, a lot of my clients are women, and I've always appreciate that because one, it gives you, as a man, it lets you. It's a comfortable feeling knowing that you're a safe space. You know what I mean? Because you're not a fucking weirdo. Because there's a lot of fucking weirdos in this world. And besides that, women also talk like more than men. Like they fucking gossip. They're gonna tell who's their artist, and they're gonna move you a lot further because low key men are just very envious, bro. It's fucking kind of sad. Does this? It's like, bro.
I think what it is, it depends on the type of man that's looking outside. There's
I feel like there's more men-
ambitious. There's ambitious men that like, yo, I want to be like that in 5 years. And there's men that don't do nothing with their lives, and those are the envious ones.
But there's also those guys that want that, but they only want the materialistic, like that physical part of life.
Right.
You're happy for other reasons, bro. You get to do a lot of cool shit, but
I mean, you know, look, when you run through the novelty of being with different types of women and going to different places, those novelties eventually, if you are an evolved person mentally and spiritually, those things like are going to mean less to you.
Oh, a lot less.
Right? And I think quality of and values of people will start to mean more to you, because you can get an abundance full of women on a boat and have fun with them, but really if you have a higher sense of self, that's not going to really mean
It's
much.
funny because if you eventually get to that point in life that like, again, you don't put women this type of pedestal, like sexual pedestal, like you're just craving on them, you almost start weeding out even like the guys in your life, your close friends, because like, again, you're learning more of like who you are and what you're required to be the best of yourself.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Through that whole fucking process, bro. Because I feel like there's not a lot of people literally living that. I feel like there's a lot of guys just craving this fake world. You know what I mean?
I've seen it all. I've been in situations where, you know, those things are happening, and you know.
So what's your next fucking thing you got going on? Like what's exciting you for this year?
Well, I'm definitely doing another trip. I didn't do a Wild Tribe event. I didn't do one last year.
Really?
Nah. This is why I don't smoke during interviews, guys. For this very reason.
This one actually got me.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
I haven't been this ripped in a minute. In an episode, especially.
There's like something in there.
Jesus. You put like rosin in there, resin. I'm freaking...
Bro.
This is part of the show. It's not even a bluebird.
Bro, it's angel dust, bro.
What? No. I'll be out here like Smokey
He's
and
smoking
shit.
angel dust, bro.
Smokey on Friday the original.
Yeah.
What?
Shit.
The pigeons.
Being a pigeon coop. Mm-hmm.
But nah, man, fucking I thought you did Jamaica last year. That was
I
the year
didn't do
before
Jamaica
that?
yeah, that was the year before. Yeah, so I'm gonna do Colombia, Cartagena.
Damn.
So I'm going to Colombia.
Damn,
we
son.
got a mansion, and we're gonna get like 6, 7.
Am I gonna get like a finca?
Like
a big ass mansion like in the countryside?
No,
Or you
no,
gonna be-
not the country. We're gonna be right by the beach. Right by the beach. So we do
Boy.
that. Yeah, and bringing 5 or 6
of your prime elements of baddies.
Party girls. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna just
How many bottles of Casa?
Listen, we don't need Casamigos, baby. They could drink. You could just be there. That's it. You know, it's Colombia.
That is I know.
You know, you just go
Colombia's
outside. They everywhere. They're waiting for you at the gas station.
So hold on. Are you also gonna get some models from down there?
There's girls down there.
Oh no, I know there is.
There's some situations. Yeah. Yeah, there's nice. I mean, we're coming with our, you know, we're bringing some girls from here, but we're gonna be out there scouting. You know,
My passport right now is only Colombia.
oh god,
It's like 5 or 6 of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
it's
it's,
pretty rough.
what?
Finding girls there.
Yeah, but that's. I feel like you got to come with your team. Why wouldn't you?
So this is what I
You
always
gotta have
suggest.
your girls, too.
I always suggest to guys, if you got some like your bottom bitches, bring them with you, because they will be bait. So they'll
hype
bring
'em up.
they'll bring you girls to come, because women like to know that there's other women because they feel safe.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're
course.
with hot girls already, you're just gonna magnetize
No,
more
for sure.
more girls.
For
And
sure, for sure.
I always say, I mean, bring the right ones though. Don't bring cock blockers.
No.
Bring girls that are
Low-key
down.
haters, yeah.
You know, I always like bringing like little lesbians. You know,
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's where it's at.
They just bring
You
them
don't
in.
want the girl that hates fucking hooking up with bitches.
No, you gotta bring the little bi-curious friends.
Yeah.
And
Because
you
she's
bring
gonna be
them back.
mad that you're busy all the time. It's like, bitch, leave me alone.
Nah, they already know the mission. I was like, you know why you're coming down there, right? Okay, good. You're a recruiter. That's it. There you go.
But no,
now.
that's awesome. Have you been to Colombia before?
No, it's gonna be. Oh, I'm going to Colombia next month.
Okay.
because I want to go first before I do the big trip. So I'm gonna go out and check out the locations and the spots to bring people to. So I gotta go there and like look around and see
That's
what's dope. So when I go back, now I know all the spots.
You love it. You're gonna love it.
And we're
bro.
in. I mean, listen, nothing really excites me like that
No,
anymore.
I feel you. I feel you.
I've like I said, I've done it all. Been
No, I know.
You know, so
But I mean, it's bro. Besides the fact,
Yeah.
when you're a man that already lives so
yeah,
with all that, being over there is dope. You know what I mean?
of course.
Like I have a lot of friends, and it's funny because every time I would even talk about that.
Mhm.
Sure, you're gonna think of the obvious,
Right.
Sure, I did all those good stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
But besides that, bro, that country is dope. The energy
It's
is there.
dope
Like-
if you go in there and you got the resources to have fun.
Yeah,
Obviously,
because
yes.
those memories are the best.
Nah. And then look,
One of my boys here.
Who?
Where's he at?
where?
Where's Jonfer at?
Yeah.
Ah, that boy right there.
Yeah.
Me and him had some greats. He's the one that brought me to Colombia the first time.
Yeah.
We have some of the greatest stories ever, man.
Colombia.
Colombia, when we first went. But no, that shit was fucking, hey, unreal,
Wait,
man.
what part of Colombia you went?
We went to Bogota.
Bogota, we went like 7 days with no sleep, no.
Bro.
7 days, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're like fucking a group of us.
It
That
was
shit
like
was.
15 of us.
Wow.
Yeah,
But we stayed at a finca. We had fucking mariachis band playing night after night.
Dude.
Like, dude,
That's wild.
crazy.
Adventures, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but it's gonna be even more crazy because I got wild chicks with me.
No, I know, but it's still.
So that shit's gonna be it's gonna be something out of a movie.
that country's a cheat code.
I always say like if you're gonna do like any type of like little passport adventure, I would say start with DR first as
That's another thing that I also want to give some credit to my
Yeah.
country. And it's
Yeah.
funny because people quickly think about Colombia and be like, oh, yeah.
No,
No,
you got-
no
start
you
with
go to
DR.
DR, nigga.
DR first.
That's where you get the real fucking-
DR is a
real.
starter pack, and then you go to Colombia, and then the final boss is Thailand.
Oh, but
That's
Thailand,
the final boss.
But I feel like Thailand's kind of risky.
No. It's risky if you being an idiot. You got to
Okay.
go to the right places, and you go.
I hear end the night with sword fighting.
You that's on you, buddy. you
Thailand.
you know what's a female
No, I
was
know.
not.
I always said it.
All them guys that be like,
if
oh, I
you're-
didn't know she was a female. Like, bro,
If you got a
you
question,
know,
yeah.
you know who's
I've
a
always
female, and you know who's a
I've
male.
always said if you're in doubt, don't find out.
like
Nigga,
like-
that looks
like
suspicious. I'm walking away.
That little spider sense
I'ma
that
keep
goes
going.
off.
Yeah.
If that spider sense goes off, that's their
Yo.
pheromone. You know the pheromones of a woman. You know. Don't give me that crying game shit.
Yeah, I just don't. It's crazy how niggas actually do act
Yeah.
like I didn't know she was gonna have a dick.
No,
Nigga,
you went
what?
knowing that. They tell you they have one
No, I bet.
because they make more money being
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So they let you know, oh, I'm lady boy, okay?
Oh,
I'm okay. You okay with that? And they're like, yeah.
How you get?
You know, I mean, but
Bro, that is so crazy. But
hey, look, I'm not knocking what people
No,
are
no.
into. But I know that if you go to like Vietnam, Cambodia, you're gonna get the nice joints there. Nice, beautiful.
my
Asian.
brother always
Yeah.
said, I've never really hooked up with an Asian, but my brother always said the finest women are from the Middle East.
You know, I was dating a girl from the Middle East, right?
No.
Yeah, that was great. I ain't gonna lie, that was good. Still talk to her now.
I feel like even the look that like all the fucking women chase is the Middle Eastern look.
Well, it's that.
Is that surgery
That-
face?
that- okay, so
after
that-
you get surgery, every woman almost kind of get a face. And it's a Middle Eastern
It's
look.
the thick eyebrows.
Middle Eastern.
It's the little bit of the tan. You know.
Middle Eastern.
Well, you could say Colombian girls look Middle Eastern too because they
but
have
they're,
that look.
They're rooted.
Yeah.
The slave trade
Yeah.
all came from like Persians, Indians,
Yeah.
and they brought them to South America,
Mhm.
DR. You know what I mean? So it's like,
So that look, that exotic look, contributed to like that
Egyptians,
that,
Moroccans.
that would say that's the birthing place for that, right? That
Yeah, that look.
archetype. Yeah.
for sure.
Um.
Everyone loves those type of
Yeah,
chicks.
they definitely got a spice to them. I would have to say.
Was she
um,
Muslim?
Yes.
Damn, bro. You know what's crazy? One time in my life, I used to be Mormon all my life, and I started talking to a Muslim girl at one point.
Yeah.
And we were getting serious that I almost became Muslim.
Man.
And I was like, that's crazy.
I'm not
I was
changing.
so
I'm
young.
not changing my faith for any woman.
Yeah. No, I know. That's why I
but
couldn't
you
do
know,
it.
if I'm the opportunity.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're gonna convert to
Yeah.
my shit,
No, I feel you.
or you're gonna at least acknowledge
No.
my presence and what I do.
She ended up doing the whole arranged marriage at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the
Real
day, it is
culture
what it
shit.
is. But I would never.
But no, honestly, like I was
I'll
Mormon
never do
since
that.
I was 16, 17 years old, bro. So I was like, definitely like the life that I grew up to
Yeah.
live was not the life that I was taught into just happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I couldn't see myself putting myself to like be such a radicalist religion person again.
No, man. You're changing the your genetic makeup of who you really are for one person. That doesn't make sense.
And low key as
I
fucked up.
mean, it's called acceptance.
And there's also a bigger picture in all of it, bro.
yeah.
It's like you know your true goodness in your heart. Smoking weed or getting drunk or fucking for fun or watching whatever program or drinking Coca-Cola does not make you the devil. Like, come on, bro.
I think everybody has a devil in them to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
We know our boundaries on what we want to do, and I have my boundaries.
Of course,
there's certain things I don't do. But yeah, teach his own.
I hear that. So besides this this tour that you're gonna do, your tribe tour.
I got the Wild Tribe tour I'm doing Colombia, obviously twice.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna do Thailand sometime this year.
Fuck yeah.
I got Vegas, and I want to do that. Might do Toronto. I'm not sure yet.
Are you gonna for the most part you're just gonna be working with the same group of girls this whole year? You're not gonna like
no, I'll expand. I mean, like, I'm open to working with new talent. I'm not like closing my borders.
No,
right?
of course.
But I'm comfortable with the team that I have, but I'm always open to working with people that have something to bring to the table. And if I meet someone that has something that's gonna enhance my brand, of course I'm definitely willing to work with anyone that will give me better reach, new fans, and also just credibility. So yeah, I'm always open. I'm just not open to bullshit, and I'm just not open to working with women that just want a little bit of clout from me, but they have nothing they bring.
100%.
So now it's like I need equity back, because I have all this equity and all this value, and I'm just gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna anoint you and treat you like you're some sort of Ark of the Covenant, and you have nothing to bring but your fake ass that you got from Colombia.
Man.
Like, I'm not doing that. It took me years to develop my brand and get to my skill level for me to just give that to you with you bringing nothing to the table. This is not charity work I'm doing. This needs to be some sort of equal exchange of time and energy.
I feel
and resources. So that's why I try to work with women that have something, have a credible background, or they have a great audience. I check for all of those things, just like they check
for you.
The same rules apply, baby. You can't be a nobody and then want to come to me and want everything.
No, I feel that.
If you're at the top of the list of the hierarchy, now you can make those choices. Before, when I was coming up, I was just like happy to work with whoever.
No, I hear that. I hear that. But shit. So what's something you can tell somebody to take on for this year? What's the message you can send somebody off with?
Man, look, at the end of the day, just be your most authentic self. Navigate this life with passion and purpose. And once you have those two things, everything will fall into place.
Hey,
that's it.
I agree.
Right?
100%.
Good.
But that's what we got for you guys, bro. That was awesome, bro. I appreciate you coming out here, man.
Nope. I appreciate
some knowledge, spreading some real knowledge, and especially bro, just being real and just know it. Like, first worry about yourself, and then everything else will come after, bro.
Self-evaluation. Self-evaluation is key, and
to success.
If you can't be the best version of you, how are you gonna be great to other people? How are you gonna be valuable to other people? You gotta put value in yourself. So then, when now you could now exchange that energy, to exchange that value with other people and grow them as well. And that's how you gotta become great.
Legendary.
Yeah, that's it. So
hey. That's Talk About with Lust, and I'm your host, Lust, and we out.
We out, baby.
How we do, Kiko? We look professional? This is my good side?
Good.
We out.
Good.
I have to stand up.
I want to know about this alien, bro. Bayside. That's what I want to
That's
know.
Oh my god.
That's all bullshit.
Let's sit down for that.
Everybody talking about that shit going
You know, why don't
crazy.
you
Hey, there's a lot of niggas in Hialeah putting videos of like shit going off.
You
You know,
know,
like,
like,
nigga, why are only Cuban niggas seeing this?
Yeah. I'm like, man.
Only Cubans can see aliens now. I never get to see them.
Only you.
Because Dominicans be like, yo!
Okay, so
There's beer down here, come on down!
You believe there
Everybody
were
real
aliens?
bullshit.
This is
You
what
wanna try this out,
all
Gojo?
those cops down there?
I don't. No.
Oh, you really believe there were aliens out there? I don't know, man.
Come on down!
That's what Stephanie believes.
There
Hey,
were
Dominicans,
people
bro.
that were down there.
It's
Imagine
complete right now.
if
They're
aliens,
right there.
if aliens landed and the first thing they saw were Dominicans. It'll be a wrap, bro. It'll be a wrap.
Black nose.
Ew, that'd be crazy. Niggas would be all
like,
wearing
man.
baseball jerseys, chains, no pants. Those aliens don't wear pants.
I was like,
They'll
man.
put jackets on and shit.
I was like, man, they're at Bayside. Drinking mojitos, bro.
If aliens don't wear pants.
Nah, they won't, bro. They be out here like Winnie the Pooh, chilling. Just dope ass shirts and jerseys. What? You never seen that movie with the alien?
Okay, so the new one is that if you put in the location to Miami backwards, the coordinates backwards, it's like the Antarctic.
Oh, man. Come
That's
on,
what
man.
somebody said. I saw that.
What?
Yo. Now I'm going to go check that shit out.
Go ahead, go fact check that.
Man, that's insane.
That shit.
Look at what?
No, come on.
It all could be
What's up?
coincidence
Too, bro?
that the list dropped and all this shit happened at the same
you know,
time.
Yeah, no,
What's
sure.
going on in Israel?
You
Just
know,
different-
there's a
different
lot of
There's a lot of shit
there's
going
a lot
on.
of things going on in
I'm
real
still
time.
saying, fuck it.
Yeah.
A lot.
And
All over the world.
we're only in day 8 of 2024, and we got all this shit happening. Let me tell
I'm
you.
going back and forth. I'm going back and forth.
Let me tell you.
Go where you want to go right now within the next 4 months,
Leave it alone for
because when we get
4 or
closer
5
to
months,
election time,
trying to buy the
there's
farm.
gonna be something going down. I'm telling you.